Hello and welcome to Vegas. We are here in new ARCA, and we are the number 4 car heading into qualifying here. Changed some of my settings up to start with. I'll go ahead and show you before I go to qualifying. I like 12 to 1 for my steering ratio, and I like 0 degrees of offset because it was all the way up to 10 or something, plus 10. And then I will put my brake bias all the way at minimum because I don't expect to use much of it. And I think during the race, I might find myself trying to use a tiny bit of brake drag if I need to hold the bottom line, because I have heard that your ability to stay out of the dirty air is very important in this series now. So I have heard some not so rave reviews about how this car drives on the large tracks. This is my first attempt at it because they fixed the they had that glitch with the wall, the prediction code and the wall, and I didn't want to really have a race ruined by that until it was fixed. We're gonna hopefully get ourselves a good qualifying lap here. It sounds like it's gonna be very important. I'm gonna breathe the throttle just a tiny bit to make sure I can hold this bottom line right next to the white. And I think the first lap might be the preferred lap. Although we'll see here. It's looking like maybe I'm wrong. The second lap's looking pretty good. At least in 1 and 2. We'll see how it feels in 3 and 4. But very stiff race car. Doesn't really like the turn too much, I don't think. It doesn't feel like you can really run off of the right rear, unfortunately. What it feels like to me is it feels like this is now a D-Class car, like it was supposed to be all along. It's very easy to drive, it feels underpowered, and you know, that's probably what it was supposed to be all along for D-Class racers still learning. And you'll have to learn some basics of racecraft, I guess, here. You would hope so. Because you'll have to learn what dirty air is, and learn, you know, how much you need to lift when you get up in it. So, a lot of people seem like they're kind of, unfortunately, swearing off ARCA in its current state now. Kind of don't blame them, because it's not the same car as it used to be. We've still got the Gen 4 to race, though, thankfully, and we'll even have an updated Gen 4, but for too long, hopefully. But I do still want to run this car. We'll see how I feel after this race, but I don't want to give up on it quite yet. Maybe it's just my optimism heading into my first large track here. But I'd like to try to figure it out and see if I can't find speed, even if it's difficult. You'll see I'm using a little bit of brake here. This is what I think I'll try to do once I get a little further in the race, to try to get rotation and stay on the bottom line to stay out of the dirty air if I can. Trying to keep onto that bottom lane. Right now we're qualified 6th in a pretty strong field, 3.5K as the number 4. Top 5 would be fantastic if we could pull that off. You can see the times there. We had people 10th faster than us. There might be a way to full throttle it, but I didn't want to miss my marks during qualifying here and get tight on exit and then ruin my whole lap, because starting in the back would have been just absolutely deadly, because it sounds like it's going to be pretty difficult to make up ground, especially if you have trouble in front of you and you have to lift off. No cautions here in the ARCA series, as always. That's one thing that has not changed. And I'm hoping I don't have to slam on the brakes, because it's really unsettled when I try to do that. So hopefully I don't have to dodge a wreck that hard, because again, I've got that brake bias all the way back, and in fact I think I'm going to move it even farther back in the car. Trying to get rotation through the center. I want to try to hold that bottom white line and avoid the dirty air during the race. and hopefully get rotation with the brakes, get that car turning, and hopefully protect the right front a little bit more, because the right front is where it's going to be putting its weight, because I don't think there's really any way, as far as I can tell, to get it on the right rear with the way this car is planted and how little power it's got and all that. So we will start P6 on the outside. I think that'll be okay. We're going to have to try to balance being nice to the car and not losing a ton of track position from the start. And I think the way we'll do that is just trying to stay out of the dirty air off the start, because dirty air is going to make you push, and that's going to get on that right front as well. But, you know, this is all just theory at this point. Haven't done it yet. We're jumping in here for the first time on a large track in the ARCA car. New ARCA. It is really cool that we finally have the actual ARCA car as it is in real life in the sim. That's why we're here, you know, kind of, at the end of the day, right? Like, we want a simulating the real stuff if we can. And this is the car they drive, for better or for worse. Hopefully don't have to use that fast repair, but it'll be there for us if we do need it. Brake bias is back. And like I said, we got some strong cars in here. 3 guys with higher iRating than I have at my 5.5K. Those 3 guys ahead of me all have 7,000 or more, so...
Good luck, Chris.
It would be pretty...
yesterday, you're a clean driver. Look forward to it.
A pretty good accomplishment if I somehow manage to finish ahead of one of those guys, but we'll see. I don't quite expect it, especially my first try with this for the week and in general on the larger ovals. Just missed out on the league race that Nick is putting on the Neben channel. They're driving Portland in the ARCA car. They're in the ARCA car, right? Yeah, they're in the ARCA car, I think. I got home right about whenever they were going to start doing the race, and I don't even own Portland. And so I wasn't going to go out there not knowing the track very well and run into somebody, you know, especially coming in more than halfway through their season. Don't want to be wrecking somebody that's going for a championship or anything like that, so... Unfortunate I missed that. I do want to get back into the league races again, but this was not the right opportunity for that. So instead we are racing in this public lobby here, and hopefully we'll have ourselves an okay race. We're going to be in this middle lane to start. We'll hopefully get ourselves a nice jump. We'll have a good view of the leader. Looks like a second gear start. First gear pretty short. And we'll have 35 laps here. I think tire wear will come into play a little bit, especially when the you have a pack in front of you and the car gets tight. So that's why I do want to try to protect that right front. I'm not going to start dragging the brake like I was until a little bit later, I think. Because near the start I don't think we're going to need to back it down quite that much. But that is something I want to have in my back pocket to potentially use. See if it can't help us get lower on the track. But time to focus up and pay attention as the 5 leads us off to green. We get ourselves a great jump. The inside line not going. I'm going to hold them a bit tight. See if we can't get this position with some draft.
Clear.
Feel that dirty air already. Car gets real tight near the exit as well and wants to jump toward that wall, so we're going to try to avoid finding ourselves there. Guy leaves the bottom way open. Not necessarily diving it in on him, but I'm going to make him think. Ooh-wee, the car is already getting tight. These guys around us. Very momentum-based, feels like. And man, I feel that draft that the guys were talking about. A lot of guys talking about how the draft very strong in these cars, and man, I feel it. These three guys in front of us holding the bottom pretty tight, so I'm not able to get lower or anything like I was kind of hoping. But we're in a good spot right now. P4 is the 4 car. I'm hoping we'll be able to save our tires and at least be equal. I'm using brake already. I did not expect to do that, but it seems like the pace up front is a little bit slower than I thought it would be. As these guys save tire as well.
That was my fault, I'm sorry.
Trying not to step on the throttle too much. Oh, we got a little bit of wall up there, I think, unless that was prediction code. Not there, but he will leave the door open. He thought I was going to dive it in, I think. It's kind of what I want. I want him to have to run a lane higher and maybe use his tires up a little bit. If I can make him do that, then I can give myself more of an advantage. Big check up into the corner here. Feels like super speedway racing. As I'm sure you've heard others say already. Where you get the checkups into the corner and such. We've got a huge gap behind 5th, I just noticed. That's kind of great. I like that. That bodes well for me getting a top 5. I don't know if there was some sort of issue somewhere, or if us being in a lineup here is just helping us on speed. Speaking of our speed and time and such, we're going to get session last lap up for reference. Can only help if we've got more information. Got that SMT data, am I right? Try to exit a little bit lower if I can, shortest way around, and maybe a little bit less of that dirty air. One thing it kind of reminds me of as well, reminds me of dirt racing, the way you want to use less throttle on exit, just so you're not pushing up into the wall. It's almost a little bit faster, so it's kind of reminding me of dirt racing in that way, where less throttle sometimes, depending on the car, actually makes you go faster. We got a guy peeking back there. Don't know if he's interested in passing or not. Just keeping an eye on that. I'm hoping my brake bias, the way it's set right now, will help us out. Again, it's absolute minimum, plus -3 in the car. And so that every bit of brake I'm using hopefully is bringing us even more turn. Just trying to be patient on throttle, as that guy smacks the wall again. They've gotten it a couple times already. I know that the damage model isn't perfect in this car either, as so I've heard. So you can kind of get away with that, I think. But I'd prefer not to take my chances with that. It's just really hard to get the car yawed out. You basically can't, is what it feels like. Can't really yaw the car out to try to get it on the right rear.
You guys need a watch, man. Like, we're not lifting for no reason.
Car continues to feel tight, but I feel like we're managing it all right. The 5 continues to add some yellow paint to the right side of his car. Oh, we had a wreck, it sounds like. I see smoke, and I remember the guy mentioning something on radio. Must have been something that happened.
Looked like there was some that killed in it, but there was still a lot going on.
Oh, we might get him on exit there. Going lower, but he had more momentum. Really checking up into the corner here. I'm afraid that's going to get the guy behind us on our inside. For now, we're good. Maybe we'll follow this 3 right on through.
You've just done it. 30.
Stay low. There is a car on the high side. Outside, clear.
Outside clear as that guy pushes it out there. Alright, so we won't follow our way through. That's okay.
Outside. Go low.
Real tight right here. Losing speed side by side.
Go low. Clear outside. Car outside.
Man, really just hard to pass. I feel like I'm not falling off. It's just they have a better shot making passes on that outside.
16, you are playing all over the place for me.
It's okay, we'll be patient. Still not even halfway through this thing, and we're still in the lead group, which is great. Huge gap behind us, 2 full seconds. Not really possible for us to avoid the dirty air the way that they're running in front of us. Maybe if that 5 knocks the wall down a couple more times, we'll actually get damage from it. You never know. I like this wider entry the guy in front of us is taking. Gives us clean air on our nose, at least at the beginning of the corner, maybe. Man, he's just hitting that every lap. I have to wonder if that's prediction, though.
Okay, Colton, the next car is Kyle, car number 10.
Tried driving a little harder while we had clean air on our nose down there, and it was a faster corner, but it did feel like it put a lot of weight on our right front, so I don't know if that's the right way to do it.
Good consistency, keep them coming.
They all just look like they're drifting all the way to the wall, like they're 4-tire sliding up there, but they're probably just making the most of the corner and not turning their steering wheel if they can avoid it.
Well, that was at 30.83.
We might have been a little bit harder on our tires than they have. Still kind of hard to tell at this point, but having trouble keeping up with their pace. Unfortunately, just really numb to drive. Like, there's no correcting loose or anything. You're just trying to place your car in the exact right spot. Which I guess, again, could be good for learning D-class drivers, but maybe a little less engaging for those of us that got used to the old ARCA car and loose on exit and all that good stuff.
Alright, Colton, it's in a pit, heads up.
The number 5 really wants to make this track wider.
That was at 30.93.
Oh hey, I kind of like that. Got my left sides real low there, kind of got a little bit of rotation. It's the first time I felt loose this entire race. If I could somehow harness that and do that on purpose,
You're looking really bad, man.
that might actually be a good thing, but I don't want to cross that line, literally or figuratively. Yeah, unfortunately they've saved a little bit better than me, it looks like.
That lap time was 30.90.
Maybe our handling will get a little bit better though if we get out of their wake a little bit further back. Then again, we lose a little bit of draft on the straights as well. They were probably just being a little bit more patient than I was with their throttle pedal mid-corner and probably a little bit smoother.
That's good consistency, keep it up.
We're hanging in there though, we're not falling off bad. We do have some guys behind us that seem to be catching. Just little by little. That's a big gap to have to overcome for them, though. That's why I'm glad I'm kind of in this front pack, so to speak. Again, sounds like I'm talking about super speedway racing with these packs and all that. Kind of hoping they get side by side at some point, maybe bringing them back to us and give me another shot to be right up on them. See what I can do with that. .8 behind us. It's kind of holding steady at about that distance. And that 2 car behind us, he's one of the 7,000 iRating guys that I would have that I was saying I'd be thrilled to finish ahead of. So far so good on that front. Let's take the shortcut. This car's underpowered. We need all the distance we can shave off from this place.
Front is now 0.84. Missler, car number 3.
Do you have some side by side up ahead? Could bring them back to us a little bit. Oh my gosh, the wrecking.
Go high.
Damn it, I'm sorry, 5. Thought I was clear.
Suddenly, we are in 3rd place.
You're back in 4th position. Clear
That sort of thing's gonna happen when you got guys racing so close to one another. Don't know if that 10 is done with us, though.
The next
He's gonna
car
catch
is
on to our
car
draft, I
number
think.
1, and their rating is 8.0.
Guys are far enough ahead in front of us that
Tell them, Mark.
dirty air is a little less impactful.
You're now in 3rd.
I was just trying to not let Bradley in.
Yeah, feeling clean air on the nose right now. It's feeling a lot better. Don't think the 10's got enough damage that he's not going to be able to put the fight to us. Hopefully he does not give us the same treatment he gave that other guy. Sounds like he cut in pretty close, trying to file in, and was not clear or something. We'll see the details later in the incidents.
The lap time was
Inside.
13.29.
Okay, he's going to dive in. Not quite ready to give that to him. I don't think he was quite there yet. So I'm going to be aggressive and trying to hold him off. We definitely have hurt our right front, though. He's going to get a big run right now. He'll probably get us here. He's going to go to our outside.
Outside. Clear up top. Car outside.
Yeah. He's got better drive than we do.
Car on the high side.
That's alright.
Clear.
We were 5th. We're back in 4th now. Interesting. Kind of got like a late apex thing going on. I don't know if that was just that corner because he was giving me extra room or what. That 2 has gained a lot of distance on us. I just now noticed that.
1.34. Lap times are pretty consistent.
Those 2 up there battling for the win. Oh man, I'm following right behind this guy, really making the car tight. Almost got up into the wall there.
You got 5 laps to go. Stay sharp.
Missler, car number 3, is leading the race.
Ooh, are they bumping down the straightaway? They're really going at it. Those guys behind really saved their stuff, and it's making them look pretty good right now. I think they're working together, so they catch us. Use a healthy stab with the brake there, trying to get this thing rotated on entry so he can run off. This is really tightening it up at the end here. These guys up ahead are suddenly getting closer.
You got this.
Guys up ahead getting closer, guys behind getting closer. We are the meat and the sandwich of that. Getting exciting here with only a couple laps to go. He's really losing speed mid-corner, that 10 is. Man, he's going down and side drafting him on the apron. Those guys are going wild.
128.
The 8 has caught us back there. I don't know what happened to the 2.
Car outside, white flag.
We're going to get to the inside of the 10.
Stay low. There is a car
I don't know if that's where we want to be, but it's where we are.
The next car's the leader. Still there.
To go. Keep it together. We'll be on the podium. P3.
Clear up top. Car outside.
2.6. Good consistency.
Still there.
Keep them coming.
We get the drive off.
Outside. Clear.
Not much we can do about that. You really got to be to the outside, I think.
3.7.
Eight almost catches us, but we will finish P4.
P4. Well done, mate. Good finish.
Got pretty exciting there at the end.
The flag. It's over.
Ooh, guys coming up on us fast.
Solid work.
Good race, good win. Alright, find a safe place to slow this car down. Yeah, maybe not my favorite type of racing, but there was some excitement there. Felt like it mattered at least how we applied our throttle. Really felt some different things. Whoa. Felt some different things happen at the end there. We're going to take a look at our tires, see how those look. Oh my goodness, 60, 79. No wonder that 8 was catching us so fast. So, I think a couple of those times I really entered hard into the corner and stuff. Probably putting some heat in our right front. And times that I drove through the push that I was feeling. But 35 laps, so we were able to get away with it. Moves 2 spots up and match our car number. So that's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with that. Top 5, first intermediate race in this new ARCA car. And had some interesting stuff happen. So, heck yeah, interesting stuff. That's all I can ask for as a someone making a video about it. You want it to at least be somewhat interesting. Speaking of interesting,
Yeah, he did, man. Straight up.
the incidents. The 21 going to come up and get the 9.
Really not happy about it.
9 there just kind of gets taken out. The 21 did not hold his line down there. 9 able to save it. Nice car control.
I mean, I've lost so many points. Every wreck that I've been in has been somebody else's mess, so, oh well.
Yeah, that guy talking about being in other people's mess.
I gotta run.
Part of why qualifying was so
my
important.
nose somewhere, you know, I shouldn't have been. I know I can't change what happened, but something I will definitely fix for the next time around. I really do apologize.
That's the 20 right now talking about this
Hey,
incident.
you know what, man? That makes all the difference in the world, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I get
That's
it.
really nice,
I
actually.
saw
There.
ya, but I had to
Forgiveness.
sit down low, but
20 accepting
really
his
do
mistake.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Which it was the 20's mistake. I think the 20 was kind of hoping to get his nose there, maybe,
I
and
don't like
the hole
racing dirty,
closed.
And like I said, I just had too much momentum, and I put my nose somewhere where it shouldn't have. I thought you were going to stay up a little higher, and that just I made a bonehead move. So just wanted to apologize.
I'll let him explain it. Honestly, that's all you can ask for. If you get wrecked by somebody,
I've made my mistakes.
just
too.
if it's an
Good luck
honest
on the next
mistake,
one.
you know.
I'll see you out there.
So what happens here? The 23 kind of gets put sideways. That's terrible netcode. I thought they fixed this. I mean, I guess it's not the wall issue, but still we got some netcode issues in this car, it looks like, because they are not even close. That's, I don't know, a third of a car width away? And that apparently was enough to make contact with the 23. That's pretty bad. So still some things to work on. Wow. And that netcode takes out this much of the field. So Hey, iRacing, let's clean that up a little bit. All these guys had their races ruined because of something that shouldn't have happened. That really stinks. So, really, it started off, the chain of reaction starts with the 9, I think? 9 coming up on the 21, kind of shoving him a little bit. And that would have been fine. It would have been pretty aggressive racing from the 9, who's probably just a little irritated after getting taken out earlier. Maybe driving a little bit more aggressive because of that, but his contact with the 21 causes the netcode with the 23, and he gets tagged a little bit, but ultimately, these guys get the worst of it. And, you know, you can't slow down too much in ARCA. No cautions. 20 finds his way through. Days of Thunder style. Lots of broken cars here, unfortunately. For a wreck that shouldn't have happened. So, here we are, lap 15. Ooh, 24 kind of all over the track. Not really certain of what lane he needs to be in, I guess. He's leaving the top open, nearing the entry of the corner, and I think the 12's like, alright, he's giving me the lane, I'm gonna go. And then all of a sudden, 24's like, nah, I want to maximize my angle in the corner. But he had already left that lane open so long, I think it's justifiable that the 12 thought he was being given that. 24 comes up into him. No real harm done there, though, I don't think. Here is that wreck where the 5 gets taken out. So, I know the 5 was really going after that wall quite a few times. He tries a higher line here, and the 10 just kind of comes and gets him. He was trying to, I guess, just cut it real close and file in behind him, but he reaches the 5. I don't think he expected to. But ultimately, it is on the 10 for not being aware of the front of his car. He clips the 5. Gets the wall, sends the 5 around. And thankfully, we're able to get around it. As I had fallen off a little bit by then. I had enough time, reaction time there. And the 10's able to keep up enough momentum. He's able to get past us again later. Because I was not doing as good on my right front as I needed to. I think I needed to be more patient. Middle and exit of the corner on my throttle. Probably to help alleviate some of that right front wear. I was trying to do it, but needed to do it a little bit more probably to compete with the top guys. And then here's what happens to the 2. I knew we had lost him, and I think if this doesn't happen, either one or both of these guys reach us, but that one's all on the 2. 2 just comes up and he doesn't want to lift. This is very much momentum-based racing, so lifting loses you a ton of time. So he doesn't want to lift here, he's just trying to cut it close. And unfortunately, he comes up a little bit too much. The 8's in his lane, so that is on the 2. And ultimately, it's the 2 that gets the worst of it, because he goes and shoves the 8 into the wall, and it kind of ricochets off, sends the 2 to the infield. And he goes for the Dukes of Hazzard jumps. All in all, that's probably about as good as that could have turned out for him, ending up in the infield like that. He still ends up with a top 8 finish, finishing 6 spots higher than where he started. He was a guy that would have been up here racing for the win if he'd qualified better, but he qualifies 14th and saved his tires much better than a lot of the guys on the field, but ultimately having to make his way to the front ended up costing him, particularly in that moment. So back here in P15, the 9, trying kind of like a slide job looking thing. Probably just hurting his tires is all the reason we're getting shown that. 22 trying to run the high line, probably hurting those tires as well. I think when the tires reach about 50%, I think it starts showing up on the incidents. Judging by our 60 on the right front, I think there's probably some guys near the back that probably hurt the right front enough to get to a 50%. The 2 with his slide, oh, he's just kind of frustrated and giving up at this point. Last lap. Heading toward the checkered flag. Upset with himself there. And then the 6, I was just trying to slow down after the race. He was ready to do another lap. I was going around the 1. Thankfully, he doesn't run into us. And that was it for this Vegas event. So, I'm not sure if my braking, it worked exactly. Hard to say if like that made my poor driving better. But using a little bit of brake, trying to get rotation, kind of using both pedals a little bit. I ended up using a lot more brake than I thought, especially like in entry while the pace was slower. So I am glad I moved that brake bias as far back as I needed to. And even though our right front wasn't quite that good at the end, we're able to hold on for a P4. And had some excitement at the end as everybody tried to scramble and get their final positions. So we will take a look at the results page before I say goodbye. Here they are for you right now. There it is. We will get 32 iRating to put ourselves back over 5,600. And here we are in 4th place, finishing position, 185 championship points. Very nice haul there. So 2 thumbs up on that one. No incidents. These two guys had some contact in the race, but finished ahead of us. And here's the rest of your field. Move this out of the way. You can see what everyone else did. So it was actually the 9 car with the fastest lap. Probably hurt that right front, though, if I had to guess. Is that 14 incidents? Holy cow. Some of these guys had rough races. 14 incidents. Oh, that's right. The this car, for some reason, that's another thing it's been doing. The lightest contact gives you incidents. I remember hearing about that, so guess we're glad we didn't barely touch anybody, because it looks like almost everybody in the field has at least 4x, and it didn't even really look like that messy of a race. I mean, there was that big wreck, so that probably gave a bunch of people incidents, but we're one of, what, 5 people that didn't have an incident this race? So very sensitive on the incidents. But we're able to avoid that and get our top 4. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to keep running ARCA. I know some guys are giving up on it, but I'm going to keep running it, try to still get the best results I can, and maybe it won't be my favorite series anymore, but I think it's still worth running, at least for now. We'll see if I get bored of it. But hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.